Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're breaking down all of the little mistakes Rockstar made in Grand Theft Auto 6's second trailer. The ones that slip through the cracks, the ones you probably missed, and the ones that tell us more about how this game is really being made behind the scenes. Now, before I dive in, I want to give full credit to the GTA 6 Countdown who first spotted these small but fascinating details. Their breakdown inspired this video, but here we're going to talk about why these things might have happened, what they reveal about Rockstar's creative process, and whether any of this actually matters for the final release. Because even though Rockstar's reputation for perfection is unmatched, even they make mistakes, so let's get into it. Number 1, Jason hits the brakes without touching the brakes. Right away, this one caught people off guard. In one of the chase sequences, Jason slams on the brakes of his motorcycle. But if you watch his hands, he never actually touches the brake lever. It's a quick shot, but it's kind of hilarious once you notice it. Here's this ultra detailed game with palm sweat, dirt physics, dynamic shadows, and then Jason stops the bike using pure telekinesis. Now, to be fair, this could be a physics timing thing, or just a missing animation frame during the trailer capture. Rockstar's trailers are often made using debug builds where half of the systems aren't fully synced yet. Still, what's interesting about this one is what it says about Rockstar's priorities. They're not just animating for realism, they're animating for cinematic flow. Sometimes little details like brake levers get ignored to make the overall pacing of the scene feel smoother. But for fans who expect Red Dead 2 level realism, this is one of those blink and you'll miss it moments that breaks the illusion just a little. Number 2, we have the floating streetlight. This happens in that shot where Jason is hanging onto the back of a car while Lucia is driving. Now, in the background, if you look closely, one of the streetlights isn't connected to anything, it's just hovering in midair. It's an easy mistake to make when rendering a city this massive. When you're working with hundreds of assets across 3D environments, one misaligned coordinate can make props float or clip into each other. But the real reason this moment blew up online isn't because of the light itself, it's because it's Rockstar. Fans hold Rockstar to a standard that's higher than almost any other studio. When you spend a decade crafting what's supposed to be the most immersive open world in gaming, people are going to notice if something is off even by a few inches. Next, we have the missing texture. In the first-person driving shot of Jason, you can see a massive building in the distance with an entire section missing its texture. It's just a big flat gray wall. Now, this is the kind of thing that happens in every game before final optimization, especially ones as detailed as GTA 6. Realistically, it's probably a loading error or an incomplete asset. Maybe something that hadn't been textured yet when the trailer footage was captured. But there's something deeper here. This tiny mistake actually gives us a clue about when this trailer might have been recorded. Rockstar typically captures gameplay months before release, often using test builds that are far from complete. The fact that we're seeing missing textures suggests that the footage might have been from as early as late 2024 or early 2025. And it's kind of wild to think that we might be looking at something that's almost a year old by the time it hit the internet. Number 4, Jason's hands don't match the steering wheel. This one is subtle, but once you see it, it's hard to unsee. Now, this error happened in the shot of Jason driving through Key Lento from his house. You can see his hands aren't properly synced with the steering wheel. The steering wheel is moving slightly and his hands aren't going in the same motion. Now, that might sound small, but this is the kind of desync issue that usually happens when animators layer cinematic motion capture over physics-based driving animations. Basically, Rockstar probably wanted a specific shot, a tight angle, or a certain motion, and the blend between mocap and gameplay animations didn't line up perfectly. It's a reminder that even though Rockstar's games look like perfectly recorded films, they're still built from gameplay systems that don't always cooperate with cinematic staging. Then we have the reflection error on Jason's sunglasses. This is one of the screenshots of Jason sitting on a motorcycle, and he has sunglasses on his tank top. From this angle, we should be seeing a portion of the bike and whatever's in front of him, but it doesn't match up. This suggests one of two things. Either the reflections were manually added for cinematic effect, or the screenshot was rendered using early ray tracing code that wasn't fully accurate yet. Given that GTA 6's lighting system is rumored to be one of the most advanced in gaming history, we're talking full global illumination, real-time reflections, and volumetric shadows, it's not surprising that Rockstar is still perfecting it. Lighting bugs like this are normal, especially when pushing new rendering tech. Still, it's rare to catch Rockstar slipping on something visual, so this one definitely stood out. Next, we have the empty police car. This one got fans talking immediately. When Lucia launches a grenade into one of the police cars pursuing her, one of them clearly doesn't have anyone inside. And it's weird because the sirens are on, the car's active and is driving at highway speeds, but there's no driver. It's like the cops just vanished mid-scene. Now, the simple answer is that this shot probably came from Rockstar's internal cinematic editor, the same one they used to make Red Dead Redemption 2's trailers. Sometimes they strip out AI or NPCs for stability when capturing scenes, especially with explosive effects. But still, it's odd to see an empty car in such a high-stakes moment, and it's a reminder that trailers, even Rockstar's, are often made in semi-scripted sandbox environments rather than live gameplay. Next, we have the Gunfire light bug. There's a shot where Jason is doing a drive-by, firing his pistol out of a car window. But if you pause it, you'll notice something off. The muzzle flash lights up before the gun actually fires. It's such a tiny timing issue, but it breaks realism for a split second. And in a Rockstar game, those split seconds matter. This is the kind of mistake that usually happens when footage is slowed down for editing. The flash effect might have been on a separate render, and it got offset by a frame or two. Still, it's the kind of mistake that Rockstar rarely lets get through, which is probably why fans noticed it so quickly. And finally, the last one, the Ambrosia Bridge scene. It's a stunning shot, showing the scale of Ambrosia, but if you take a close look, you'll notice something strange. There's no shadow under the bridge, and the water's missing reflections entirely. This one's clearly a rendering issue. Reflections and shadows are handled through multiple passes in Rockstar's engine, and this scene looks like one of those passes didn't load in. But here's where things get interesting. This shot might actually reveal something about how Rockstar is rendering Vice City. There's speculation that the game uses a hybrid of real-time ray tracing and pre-baked reflections to balance performance. If that's true, it's possible this scene was rendered using an incomplete lighting pass, explaining why the reflections and shadows are missing. It's a fascinating look into how technically complex GTA 6 really is, and how even small details like water reflections can become entire challenges in a world this massive. Now, some people might be wondering, why even talk about this? These are tiny issues that will almost definitely be fixed before launch, but that's exactly why they're worth talking about. Rockstar rarely shows anything early. Every second of footage we've ever seen from these is deliberate, so when something like this slips through, it's a rare chance to peek behind the curtain. It reminds us that GTA 6 isn't magic. It's being built, tested, tweaked, and refined just like any other game, except this one just happens to be the most ambitious project in entertainment history. The floating lights, the missing textures, the reflections, all of these little imperfections are signs of a game still evolving, and that's exciting, because if this is what GTA 6 looks like unfinished, imagine what it's going to look like when it finally ships. Rockstar's history is built on obsession. Every single one of their games has gone through years of micro adjustments, down to how dirt sticks to boots or how glass shatters when hit at different angles. And that perfectionism comes with pressure. When you're creating something on the scale of GTA 6, a $2 billion project, potentially the biggest release in entertainment history, even the smallest imperfections feel massive. But here's the truth, no game is perfect, not even a Rockstar one. What matters is how those imperfections are polished and hidden by launch. So yes, it's fun to point out a floating light or a missing reflection, but in reality it's proof that Rockstar is still human, and that this is a game being built brick by brick, frame by frame. At the end of the day, none of these mistakes change the fact that GTA 6 is shaping up to be something special. If anything, seeing these little errors makes me more excited, because it's real, it's in motion, and that means we're getting closer to the finish line. Every shadow, every bug, every missing texture tells us one thing. The world of Vice City is alive, and Rockstar's still fine-tuning it for what might be the biggest launch in gaming history. So shout out again to GTA 6 Countdown for catching these first. Go check out their post if you haven't already. And now I want to know, did you catch any of these mistakes when you first watched the trailer? Or did you spot something new that nobody's mentioned yet? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, I'll be reading through all of them. And while you're at it, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more videos just like this one. Alright, with that all out of the way, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.